All right, that's it. I think we are live. Here we are on our second session of our live REVIT training. And in this session, we're going to talk about this 3D cool dimensioned parametric family. So if I go to my 3D view here, we're going to build this triangular family. And this is just one family that I can take and move around, and it has some different parameters in here. And we are going to build this from scratch. So this is kind of the end product. So what the and you can make different versions, but as an example, I can click on here, and this is a 6 foot wide by 60 degree. So I can change that to be a 4 foot wide by 45, a 4 foot by 60 degree, 6 foot, and you can make new ones. So as an example, I could go in here and duplicate this and say duplicate, and call this an 8 foot by 22.5. Can I use a decimal in there? Feet, degree. So wide and shallow, right? And then I just change the bottom angle to be 22.5 degrees and the width to be 8 feet, and hit apply and hit OK. And I get a new window. Now, I'm not saying it's the best window there is, but just as an example, okay? So you can create new types. You can change the materials, the window frame material, okay? The glass material. You can also change the offset, which is the sash. You see where the glass is in here? Okay, that brick wall is kind of what's behind here. I just put that in for effect. If I click on here and get rid of that. So if you look at where the frame is here in the sash, that's adjustable as well. So if I pick on here and I go to here and I change this offset to be 6 inches, don't forget because it's inches, it'll move that around. So I can slide the glass around, slide the glass or change the glass material, change the angle, and then the width. And the height will be a result of the width by the angle. So we're going to build this from scratch. So keeping this in mind, let's just leave this here. I'm going to even save this as is. And I'm going to hit my close hidden to close that up. So this project is kind of sitting there. And in fact, I think I'll just close it, right? So I'm going to make a new family. So that's the end result of what we're going to build. So I'm going to start from scratch and say new family. And from in there, I need to pick a template. So I'm going to say Imperial English, and I'm going to go down to window, which is kind of pre-built for window type stuff. So hit open on that. Now I'm doing a triangular window, and this has some pre-built parameters in here for width and height. And you can't change or get rid of those two parameters. So I have kind of an algorithm here, and I'm going to pull it over if I have my notepad here, this is really what I would kind of lay out and do before I build this triangular family. This is kind of my game plan. Okay, so what I'm going to do is start by building some parameters. So bottom angle, which is that 60 and the 45, etc. I'm going to build that parameter. And then for the second bottom angle, you can't use the same parameter again. So I'm going to say this is the real trick, is I'm going to say bottom angle 2 equals angle 1. So it's symmetrical. And then I'm going to make two easy parameters for frame and glass material. And then a sash offset, which is a dimensional length parameter. And then a glass on off, which will actually, I didn't show you, I can turn the glass on and off so it's just wide open. Okay, that's the setup. And then after that, I'm going to go in here and do the modeling. So then I'm going to tie these parameters to the model. So that's kind of the way I'm going to attack this. So I'm just going to kind of leave this off to the side. So this is my empty template file. So from here, I'm going to go in and let's just look at a 3D view. So that empty window template, all it is a wall, which I can change to be different types and thicknesses to flex the model. And there's an opening. So there's like a cookie cutter that's cutting a hole in this wall. And that really drives everything, because the reference planes I'm going to create for the angles are going to start it all off. So I'm going to have my angle parameter, then the reference plane. I'm going to lock this opening to the reference planes and then build the window frame around it and lock that to the opening. So the window frame is locked to the opening, and the opening is locked to the reference planes, and the reference planes are controlled by the parameters. So let's do that. Let's go up to the top here and make some parameters. So I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to start making new parameters by going in here. Oh, sorry, here. New parameter. So let's get my notepad out here. I'm going to make a new parameter. And let's go bottom angle 1 and 2 and then materials. So bottom angle, I'm going to type it in. Bottom angle 1 is an instance parameter and it's an angle. It's going to go under dimensions. Okay, so I'm going to make it instance. No, I want to make it type because I'm going to make different window types at different angles. So let's leave that at type. I don't want to change them individually. So type and angle, done. Okay, then I'm going to make another new one, and it's going to be called bottom angle. Two, because I can't give it the same name. And it's also type, and it's a length. Good. Okay, and then I'm going to make another one called frame material and glass material. So here we go. Do it all at once. Frame material. It's a instance, so I can change it per window. Okay, this is the key. This has to say material. Okay, under materials, good. Another one. Okay, glass material. Also instance and also material. And hit OK. Okay, one more. I'm going to make one called sash offset. This is going to push that middle frame piece back and forth. It's I'm going to also make it instance, and it's a length, which is a dimensional one. Good. Okay, so back to here. That's my bottom angle 1, 2, material, sash offset. Oh, glass on and off. Okay, let's make one more in here. This is going to be called glass on off. It's also instant, so I can turn it on and off. And this is a yes, no. Right here. Okay, and I'm going to group it under graphics. Done. Okay, there's my parameters. Hit apply. Hit OK. Okay, that's the first part. Now I've done this. Now I got to do a little bit of modeling in reference planes, line and lock. So I'm going to go to my exterior view. Okay. I'm going to leave these two guys just the way they are. The width parameter is shown in here. So the width is already created and it's set to be split between here. I'm going to leave all this alone. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little opening, I'm going to tab and pick it. That's the opening object. And then I'm going to do this, edit sketch. I don't need the top line. I'm just going to delete it. And I'm going to draw a new reference plane. So I'm going to go over to create, and I'm going to draw a reference plane. And I'm going to snap to that corner, and I'm going to go up at, I might as well go at 45 degrees. And do the same over here, 45 degrees, and then hit escape, escape. Now, I'm going to pull these out, to make them fairly long. just to make sure in case it gets bigger. It doesn't really matter actually how long it is. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to align and lock. I'm going to say align to here, this, remove the old constraints, and lock it to the new constraint. Click out, start again. I don't have to pick my tool again. I click out or start it again. Click on here, align, this, remove the old constraint. Oh, sorry, what did happen there? Cancel. Pick the wrong one. Align to here, this. Unconstrain the old one, reconstrain the new one. Click out, hit escape. So ultimately, I just need 2 lines on there. I could have just taken these original ones. Watch, let me undo. Okay, I could just do this. Could have just taken this and hit delete. Right, get rid of them. Draw a new one, click on here, pick on here, lock it. Pick on here, lock it. Either way, get your sketch lines locked to there. Then I can use a trim, TR for trim. There. Okay, hit escape. So now I'm going to set the angle of these, but I can do it in here, but I can also do it out here. Watch, I'm going to hit finish. No, the reference planes. Now, interesting. Because I drew the reference planes inside the sketch, they stay in the sketch, right? They're not out here. I kind of wanted them out here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go back in here and try something. Watch. Tab, click on this, and say Edit Sketch. There's my reference planes. Can I take these both, do a Control-C to copy them to the clipboard, hit Escape, Finish, come out to here and say Modify, Paste to the same place. What if I just say Paste? There. No, it didn't. It pasted them, but not, it's hard to get them to paste to the right place. I want them out here. So all I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go back to here. Taking the long way, and this is how we learn. I wanted my reference planes on the outside. Click on there. I'm going to say Edit Sketch, and I'm going to delete these 2 guys. It wouldn't let me paste them to the exact same place, and I don't want to mess around with trying to do that again. So I'm going to go delete and delete. Just get rid of them. Okay, and then finish. Now out here, I'm going to take these 2 guys. This is doing it the long way, but that's how we learn. And I'm going to move them to here because I know they're in the right place. There. Now they're out here. Now when I pick on here and I say Edit Sketch, I can say align to here, this, lock it, align, click out to clear, here, this, lock it, click out. See now and hit escape, and then finish. So now my reference planes are out here. And because I want my dimensions out here. Now I could also put the dimensions in the sketch. So watch, this was my end game, is I want to go down here and do an angular dimension from here to here, there. And then from here to here, there. Escape, escape. Now I'm going to take this and make that bottom angle 1. It's going to remove that old constraint. That's okay. Oh, what happened? Click out. I dimensioned. Okay, I'm going to delete that. Try that again. Oh, what happened? That should... Okay, let me do this. Let me hover, tab, grab that opening, and edit the sketch. And let's see, that should be aligned to there. That's okay. That's okay. Finish. Now, this, I should be able to change that to be angle. Oh, look, there's my problem. You see? I created the parameter first, and it gave it a 0. So it's going to try to make this 0. Isn't that interesting? I should have plugged in a number. So look, there you go. Great lesson. Pick on here. The problem is this angle should say something reasonable. Okay, and also while I'm in here, Bottom angle is 45. Bottom angle 1. Bottom angle 2 is equal to, and capitals count here. So we have to be cap sensitive. Bottom. And look, I spelled angle wrong. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Back to here. I got to rename this here. Edit this. Bottom angle, first of all. Let's get my spelling right. Hit OK. Okay, and now this equals bottom angle 1. Enter. And you know what? This is a length. It should be an angle. Another mistake. Exit out. Backspace. I'm not paying attention. Here we go. Click on here. Edit this. Look, I can't change it. So what do I have to do? I have to remove it. Get rid of it. Yes. Little bit of back work. Here we go. Bottom angle 2, and I forgot to set this to be angle. Maybe you saw that. Okay. And it's a type. And I also spell angle wrong again. There we go. So now I can say equals bottom angle 1, hit enter, bingo. Now I'm going to assign those to these two. I can't make both of these parameter the same guy over here. It won't let me do that. So hit apply, hit OK. Now grab this guy, either one doesn't matter, and say you are bottom angle 1. And it's still trying to set it to be 0. Again, I forgot to fix that. Let's go back in again. No, bottom angle is set to be 45. Bottom angle 1 should be good. Okay, I'm going to get rid of these two guys. I'm going to get rid of these two reference planes, and I'm going to draw new ones. Create reference plane from here to here and from here to here. Escape. And then do my dimension from here to here, there. My dimension from here to here, there. Escape, escape. Now, take this and make that bottom angle 1. And it's still trying to make it 0 degrees. So I'm going to go back to here and take bottom angle 1 and get rid of it. Bottom angle 2, get rid of it. Hit OK, click out. Let's try it this way. Watch, I'm going to pick on here and go in this way and say new parameter. More than one way to skin a cat. Okay, hit OK. Now it's there and it's in. Now this guy, I'm going to say it's bottom angle 2. Great lesson here. See, live on the spot. So remake those. Now I'm going to flex these. So I'm going to go into here and I'm going to make my bottom angle. Can I copy and paste this? Control C. Bottom angle 2, Control V. Hit apply. So it's reading that. So they're both equal now. Good. And then leave them at this angle for now. Okay. Now take this opening and align it. Okay. Edit sketch. And now realign it. Maybe I just, the order in which, okay, align and lock that. Click out, align and lock this. Click out. And click out, hit escape, and finish. There we go. Now let's flex it again. So here's the moral of the story here is I should have put the reference lines in, put in the dimensional parameters and flexed the reference planes. Then take the opening and then align and lock it to the reference planes after the fact. Now my next flex is to change the width. Watch. Make it 5 feet wide and see what happens. There we go. 8 feet wide. Okay, let's make it nice and wide. Make it back to something reasonable like 5 feet wide. Now change the angle to be 45. Aha, change the angle. See, they're both being 45. Bingo. Okay, so I could go look at that in 3D as well. But that's my opening. That's the key here, is the angles are working, the opening is working. Okay, so now if I go to my, close my views and go back to my 3D view, there's that. So again, I could flex this here, change my width to be 7 feet. Okay, change my angle to be 60 degrees. Good, change it back to 45. Notice I'm changing angle 2 and it's changing angle 1 as well. So they're both reading each other, which is kind of nice. Okay, now let's model the frame. So hit OK. Now that is a sweep, which has a point that we access and then a profile. So let's go to our sweep tool right here. Boom, sweep. So we do a path and a sketch. Now, what I want to do is pick the outer edge as my path. And I'm going to pick the outer edge of either the inside or the outside. Now, if I look at this, you can see there's the front. And the front, I believe, is the interior and then the back. So I'm going to, just doesn't matter which side, to be honest. But watch, I'm going to say pick path. And I'm purposely going to pick the diagonal edge, which what I should do is pick this one first, because that'll put the base point of my profile there and make it easy on my view. But I'm going to mistakenly pick here first, and you see what happens? It puts my target on there, and then I go here and I go here. So that's where I'm going to sweep around. The problem is, to get a perpendicular view to this can be tricky, and you can't just use these views over here. You can do it, but I want to move that now to be down here, so when I look from the side I can draw on that plane easier. So to do that, I can't really do it right now from here. So what you do is this. I'm going to say finish. Click out. And now I'm going to go back and do it again. Watch. Pick path. This time I can drag it. Isn't that cool? Now I can go move it to whichever edge I want to go on. So I want to be there instead. Okay, now finish. That's my path and my perpendicular sketch point for the frame. So now I'm going to say, okay, now I need to do select profile. I can go pick one off of here if I have one loaded, or I can just say, or load one. So pick one that's loaded, load one, or this is the sketch. And now I have to draw. So it's easier to draw now because it's there. And I'm going to go to, for instance, I'm going to go, keep your eye, it's on the left-hand side. So if I go to the right side, there it is right there. And there's my window opening. So all I'm doing is a 2D profile here. So watch. Now let's see. There's the exterior side. This is the inside corner of the, so I'll make it, not too complicated. I'll draw a line. So I'm saying, okay, this is the front of the inside trim, maybe an inch. Goes up, and I can do whatever I want after the fact. And now I'm going to get to that sash part. And I'm going to say, well, it's going to, have one of these little things in here. And I don't want to snap to that. I want to come across, click over. I want to be a little more detailed, but. And then this is the outside. So I'm going to go out to here and then, down to here. And there's like a drip edge or something. And then up to here, and then over to here, and over to here. hit escape, escape. So then now I can just play around with this. So I'm going to window these and I'm going to kind of move them up because they're closer to the outside. And then I can pick on here and I can play with these numbers as I please. Make it an even inch or whatever, you know, sketch these, play with these numbers as I want. Play with the angles, go as detailed as you want. Now this little guy, what I want to do is I want to put a dimension in here. I'm going to say dimension. Actually, what I'm going to do is, this is my glass coming up here and I want this to be about 1 inch thick. So what I am going to do is I'm going to do a dimension in my sketch from here to here. I'm going to move it up and click out. So how thick is the glass? Well, I'm not going to draw all the glass, but 3/4 of an inch is actually fine, considering it's going to be 2 or 3 panes. But I'm okay with that, right? So that I can say good. So that I'm okay. I don't even need that dimension. I just wanted to know what it was. Now this a dimension I am going to do. Actually, I'm going to undo and bring that guy back. Watch what I can do. I'm going to take this dimension because it's already there. Okay, I'm going to pull it down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this point over. Oops, let me move it. Oh, it's not a real dimension. Let's make it a real dimension by hitting the real dimension button there. Now that I have it, I can drag, if I can move it up far enough, I can drag it over to this edge here, tab. Just as a little side note, I don't have to create a new dimension. I could use the old dimension. And this is going to be that offset. In fact, I don't want this here. I want this to be right there. Now, these are close enough together that if I control this little edge, these guys here will move with it. I don't have to tie them all in. If they're close, I think they're close enough. But this is going to get managed by a parameter called sash offset. Now it's currently set to be 0, notice. So in this case, it'll inherit that number, which is fine. So 1 1/4. So let's test that. Can I go up to here right now and say, well, sash offset, let's make it 2 inches. And hit apply. See how it moved it all together and it made it 2 inches. I could have zoomed in a little closer to see that. So this little edge is being controlled by this parameter and these little guys are all kind of following along with it. And this whole thing is going to get swept around. If I go to my 3D view, there it is there. And that's just going to get swept around and then I'll extrude the glass perpendicular. All right, anything else? Let me have a look here. Flex the model, align and lock opening sketch. Frame sweep to align the model edges. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Okay, so now I hit finish. As long as this is a closed polygon, there can't be a gap, right? If this is out here, it ain't gonna work. So you have to, these have to be together. Now, if you did a hole in the middle, it would extrude that too, by the way, just for the fun of it. Like if I did a circle in here, you know, there'd be a hollow tube. You know, that would get extruded around to make it, you know, lightweight, I guess. So just so you know. All right, now watch the magic and we hit finish. Click out, that's my frame. So that's, sorry, that is my profile. So there's the profile and the path. If I want to go back and edit my path again, I can go back to edit path. I'm done my path, I hit finish. Okay, now I can go back in and edit my profile. If I want to go back in again and start modifying this, I can pick on here, edit profile. Go back in, finish this, finish again. There's my window frame without the glass. Okay, let's try moving that sash offset. I'm going to go SD on the keyboard for shaded mode. Okay, let's flex it a bit. Let's go up to here. Let's change the angle to be 60. Okay, there's my angle. And let's change this sash offset from 2 inches to 6 inches. Make sure you say inches. There it goes. You can see it moving inside. Make it 4 inches. Looks good. Okay. Now, that's kind of the hard part. The easy part here is to grab this frame and go to where it says material and hit this little secret Mario Brother button here and go in and say you are the value of whatever frame material is. So material is frame material, which means you can decide in the project. Hit OK. If I want to hard code it, I can just pick right on here, but I'd rather make it flexible. Allow the user to do it in the model. That's what that does. All right, click out. And let's do a save here, by the way. Go up to live October 15th, and we'll call this Triangle Window Live. Now we just have to get the glass in there. And with the glass, we are going to extrude it, and it's going to sit right inside that little kind of groove in there over here on the other side. Can't quite see it, but because it's too far over. But that, now how thick is this wall? Let's see. This is a 6-inch wall. Let's try changing this wall thickness to be, 10 inches thick in this. Oh, I made it 10 feet. 10 inches, hit OK. Okay, so that's working. I'm not sure that sash. I think it's in there. Let's edit that sweep. Oh, look, something went wrong here. Edit the profile. Now, that is all bent out of shape, isn't it? Interesting. Okay, let me exit out of here. And watch. I'm going to just do a bunch of undos. Back to here, and now I'm going to pick on here and say edit sweep again, and then pick on here and say edit profile. Now I'm going to do some aligning, right? I'm going to align this to here and lock it, and I'm going to align this to here and lock it. Clip, escape. Now, there you go. So I didn't align those. I don't think I need to do any dimension stuff with the rest. Let me do a finish on this one. Click out and finish again. Click out. Back to my 3D view. Okay, so my sash is back to looking normal again here. Now let's try changing that size again. Up to my parameters. And let's change this width back to be 6 feet. So it's working that way. Let's change my angle to be 45. Okay, working. So my alignment, I missed some alignments in there. So that seems to be working. Height is being ignored. So again, 6 feet wide, sash offset. Let's try this number again. Be reasonable, 4 inches. Moving it along, looks good. 3 inches, don't forget the inches, good. So there we go. So now let's put the glass. Hit apply, see, you have to flex it. That's why this live stuff is so neat, to watch what happens when things go wrong. You have to fix it. Now, back to the exterior. Okay, now we're going to draw the glass, and there's a lot of lines in here. Okay, so we kind of have to set the work plane to be that inside edge of that sash. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to my 3D view. Okay, and I believe I got a 50 channel. I think this is a, which it said interior or exterior, but watch. I'm going to say create, and I'm going to set my work plane. I'm going to say pick a plane, hit OK, and I'm going to pick the inside face of this right here. You see that? Click. That's my new, and I'm going to say show me. See, so that's now my work plane. So if I zoom in and I'm going to draw the glass, I need to go into, not the inner edge, I need to go down one. So watch, when I go back to here, I'm going to say create now an extrusion. Now I'm on the right work plane. So it's going to come off of that. Create extrusion. And I'm going to say pick my edges. And I'm going to pick this edge and lock it. And this one here and lock it. And this one here and lock it. Escape. Now that gap, remember it was 3/4 of an inch thick. So I'm going to say 3/4 of an inch. That's my glass thickness. It may go the wrong way. I'll soon find out. Okay, I can always go over here to my 3D view. See what's going on. Okay, now watch when I hit finish. There's the glass. Click out. And it looks like it went the wrong way. So watch. I'm just going to pick on it and change it to be minus. And that'll go the other. Oops, sorry. Undo that. Grab the glass and make it minus 3/4. Now it's going the other direction. No, maybe it was the right direction. Let's make it 1/4. Okay, let's make it glass so I can see through. It's not like it's on the right work plane. Let's say edit extrusion here. See where it is? So let me swivel around here. So it's on that inside that work plane there. Now if I say finish, let me try this. Let me make it 2 inches. So it's going towards me. Okay, so I'm going to say edit extrusion, and I'm going to say set the work plane, pick a plane, hit OK, and I'm going to pick this there. I think it's in the right place. Okay, and I can, it's hard to do a section in this view, but I think it's in there right between that. And when I get it in the project, it'll be easier to draw a cross section through and have a look. Now, I can pick on this now after the fact, and I can say your material is glass material, which doesn't assign it to anything, but assigns it to the property. Now let's flex it. Back to here. And change this angle to be 60. And it did the window. But the glass didn't work, so let's fix this. Edit extrusion. Go to the exterior. And let's try this. Align to tab this, lock it, and align to this, and lock it. Escape and click out, finish. Back to my 3D view. See if I can flex that again. 45. Good. 60. And then my width, 7 feet. Good. Okay, so there's my frame material. Oh, I need to assign that to be frame material. My glass is set to be glass material. Okay, my glass is set to my sash, and I can move my sash by changing my number here. Sash offset to be 2 inches and hit apply, and it moves the glass with it. Perfect. Hit OK. Good. Save. And now I'm going to say new project, load it in, file, new project. So a little bit of monkeying around, but that's kind of the good thing about the architectural template here. About doing this stuff is actually live editing it. So let's draw a wall. Let's plunk one in, flex it, escape, escape, and go back to here and load to project. And I can put one in there, escape, go to my 3D view, pick on here. So now I can take this guy and copy it around. Oh, interfering. And now I can pick on here and I can change the material here. Frame material. Now I'm going to pick on here and actually pick a material. I can say, okay, you know, laminate material and the glass, I'll pick on here. Glass clear. Click out. SD for shaded mode, so I can change my materials. Did I turn that on and off? Look, glass on and off. If I turn this switch, it just disappears. Oh, I didn't. There you go. So perfect. So I can now change this. We're going to go back and do some modifications. I can change that sash offset to move that. I can change my frame material per object in here. Right, so I can change my material of that and change my material of my glass. Different materials that are available. Or maybe a hard panel or something, who knows. And change my angles. Now I need to go back and just do a quick fix by making it so I can turn the glass on and off, and I'm going to make some types. So I'm just going to reverse, go back in here and say edit family, back to here, same one. And now I'm going to go into here and make some types. So I'm going to say, okay, a new type is going to be a 6 foot by 45 degree. I'm going to make them all in here. Make another one, make it a 6 foot by 60 degree. And I also hit apply on that, okay. Pick the glass itself and change the visibility instead of on off. Go here again to this little button and change it to be the parameter glass on off. Okay, I don't want to go in, take the time here to make a lot of types, but you could go into here, make new types, and then in here, this is the 6 foot by 60, so 60 degrees by 6 feet wide here, and then hit apply. That's a type. Okay, then I'm going to go to a 6 foot by 45 degree and change my numbers here to be 45. Right, hit apply. Then I can make one more. Let's do another one. Let's make it an 8 foot by 45 degree. And another one, and then assign the values after. 8 foot by whatever numbers you want by 60 degree. Okay, so then you set them. So 8 foot by 60 is 8 feet wide by 60. Hit apply. Okay, and then the 8 foot by 45 is 8 feet by 45. So you can make as many sizes as you want here, and you can also make them in the project. Hit OK. Now I save this. Okay, and then I load into the project. I don't need to close it. So load in project, overwrite existing with the parameters. Okay, now these ones were the original ones that didn't, here it is down here. Okay, the triangle window live. So this was the original type that had no types, no dimensional sizes. It was the default. So I could pick on here and delete this and this and this and delete this. And now these are the new ones. This is my 6 by 45, escape. This is my 6 by 60, escape. My 8 by 45, escape. And my 8 by 60. If I wanted to hard code materials, I could. After that, I can pick on any one of these and just turn the glass off. I can pick on here, change my glass material to be whatever I want. And do a search. And pick my glass and hit OK and click out. And then from here, I can make my own types in the project. I can say duplicate, make a new type, and set my parameters. So in here, I could say make a duplicate of that. And I'm going to make a 4 foot by 22.5 degree right here in the model. So this is going to be bottom angle 1, 22.5 degrees, and the width of 2 feet. And then hit apply. And hit OK. So then I have a new one, which is really, I'm surprised it actually made it, but it did do it. So bad, really small numbers in there. But so that's that. Tune in for more live training. Learn it fast, learn it live.